Today we're picking every divisional winner for the 2026 NFL season. So take a ride with us to the Valley.
Nick, flip that switch.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to VSP, and today we are going to pick our division winners for the 2026 NFL season. I'm your host, George. To my right, I got my co-host, Tim. And behind the cam, as always, Nick. How's everyone doing today? Are we ready to start?
I am ready.
Okay,
sure.
So we are going to roll in with Timmy's favorite team's division, the AFC East. So why don't we jump into it? Timmy, start us off. Who will win the AFC East in the 2026 season?
So I do believe that Buffalo will win the AFC East this season. I think part of it is that I just really don't want New England to win the division. So that could be me being a bit biased towards what might actually happen. But I do think that we're getting to the part where this is sort of Buffalo's window closing. Josh Allen's really going to be fighting and everything like that. So that's why I have Buffalo winning the division.
I couldn't agree more. You got the top 5 O-line, the top 5 defense. You got James Cook, who's an animal. And you have Josh Allen. If he's healthy, there's no reason you should not be winning the division. And I smell a regression from the Patriots. Even though A.J. Brown made them better on offense, I don't see them.
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet, but I expect A.J. Brown to be good in New England.
Yeah.
But I don't expect them to win another 13 games.
Yeah, I agree.
I actually have the Patriots winning.
And there it is.
There it is,
First
Nick.
one of the day. The big change.
Oh,
So why do you have the Patriots winning this year, Nick?
Honestly, I felt like the Bills will make the play. It's between them and the Bills, and I felt like the Bills, while they'll both make the playoffs, I don't think either of them will be 13-win teams. I really think the Patriots have a good team, and I feel like everyone's going to say, oh, they had the schedule. But I feel like a lot of them is they're well coached, and they learned a lot from last year.
I think that's the only thing the Patriots have over the Bills is coaching 100%.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And with regards to the Jets, we don't know what they're going to be. And the Dolphins, we all know they're going to be horrific. The AFC North, surprisingly enough, I picked this team last year, and I'm going to go with them again. The Baltimore Ravens, I think, will bounce back. New coach, Jesse Minter. Lamar Jackson will hopefully be healthy. Derrick Henry will be fine. The defense can't be any worse than it was last year. Granted, they were on the field the entire game for most games because their offense was horrific.
Yeah.
And they finally went out and drafted a few receivers in the second and third round. They got Surratt and Lane, who were both very solid. Hopefully, they finally find a wide receiver too, because the entire time Lamar's there, they haven't had a solid wide receiver too.
All right, well, so that's just going to be another excuse for Lamar that people are going to give. But I also chose Baltimore because I just think on paper and from what we've seen going in, they will have the best football product in that division and will have a semi-bounce back kind of year. I also think part of it is just the rest of their division is not that good. And I think they could actually win like 10 games and probably win that division.
And you know what the thing is, too, is that a lot of people are glazing the Bengals. Listen,
Why?
Because they think that Dexter Lawrence is going to make this big impact.
Oh, goodness. One player is going to, I mean, it's a big
interior
thing.
D-line is no joke. It's a big difference, but their secondary is still horrible.
That's the thing. They're just going to throw.
The team is so fundamentally flawed.
And listen, with an O-line like that, he is an injury away because it's just that awful.
He's injured every year, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he's been durable.
Yeah, no, there hasn't been a fully healthy year.
Yeah, we're all on the Baltimore
I'm on the Ravens, and if any Steelers fans think they actually have a chance to win the division, you can fight me.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more either.
Yeah, come on now.
You got a mediocre coach. Re-sign your mediocre 2-year-old?
The Unk reunion. They're doing a 30-year-old reunion in the NFL. Moving on to the AFC West. Last year, some people called us crazy for this pick, and I'm taking them again. Probably the only team I would put in my S tier with 2 other teams, the Denver Broncos. Top to bottom, they are close to flawless. And the addition of Jalen Waddle, I think, is what also puts them over the top. They are going to be fighting for the 1 seed. Their defense is elite. Their O-line is elite. A lot of people don't even talk about it. They probably have the second or third best offensive line in the league. And now you're adding Jalen Waddle to that offense. I mean, there's not much that can stop them. It's just Bo Nix. Hopefully he's back to what he was.
So that's what I was going to say was as much as on paper the great team is still there and everything like that, it is going to be a big challenge for Knicks to step back in and automatically replicate what he had going last year. So I actually painfully chose the Chiefs to win the division because I think Mahomes will be back with a vengeance. I think adding Kenneth Walker will be a huge help to their offense. And yeah, that's basically it. I didn't want to go too deep into it because honestly, it is a very up in the air division. I just think that the Chargers have no chance whatsoever.
Well, because, it's funny you say that. I was going to be like, I kind of think the Chiefs might fall to third because their defense is getting worse. And
I'm also worried about the ACL.
And Mahomes' ACL worries me. And I would be like, okay, I think the Chargers might finish higher. But when I saw Justin Herbert cuddling with Madison Beer, I'm going to throw that up on the screen. I don't know what to think. I don't even know what the players think.
I don't know how much respect do the players have left for him is the real question.
I don't trust Herbert entirely.
Their offense is going to be elite, though, because they did add Mike McDaniel, and we do make fun of him. He is still a great coordinator. We do
Brainy,
make fun of
Brainy.
He always said was he one of the guys we always said was a better coordinator?
You're destined to be a coordinator.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to do some things to that offense, and Amari Hampton is going to be a superstar this year. So
I still think I agree with George. The Broncos, I think, are the best team, and I think if there's one team that could survive mediocre quarterback play while he gets healthy, it's the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
Just because you could run the ball a lot.
Uh-huh.
True.
With Harvey and Dobbins. Both
Harvey.
Like the Chiefs say they have to rely on Patrick Mahomes, which they have the past 2 years, and all of a sudden he's not back to 100% right away. That
it's going to be a
leads
problem.
To a lot of trouble. And if Kenneth Walker regresses in any way, shape, or form.
Outside of Rashee Rice, who do they really have? Their receivers are not good. And Kelsey, Kelsey's a Hall of Famer.
He's getting old.
Yeah, he's getting old. He's the second greatest tight end of all time. But okay, it gets to a point. AFC South, another division that kind of interests me because the Texans with CJ Stroud, they're in this weird position where they've had him for a couple of years.
Purgatory.
And yes, exactly what I was going to get to, where you thought he was going to be a superstar, but then he regressed horrifically. Then last year, you start 0-3, you still win 12 games somehow, but you looked horrific in the divisional round.
Yeah,
looked like a shell of a team. You don't want to waste this all-time defense. I'm still going to pick the Texans because
I'm not.
It will get to you. I disagree. I know who you're going to pick, but I think the addition of Montgomery is going to make his life easy. A lot of people, including myself, love David Montgomery. He's been so good for so long. I think Jaden Higgins is going to break out nicely as a number 2 complement to Nico Collins. And Stroud just doesn't have to play like an idiot, and they're going to win games because that defense is, my God, it's all-time good.
Who do you think Timmy's going to pick?
I think he's going to pick the Jags.
Yes, I am going to pick the Jags because you might be like, oh, Houston has the edge in this, that, and the other thing and whatnot. But I just feel in terms of I don't have the most faith in them. I don't have the most faith in Stroud specifically this year. I think he's going to have a very down year.
I actually agreed with Timmy in the car right here. I think the Jags. Okay. I like the way they're coached. I know the Texans have a very well-built team. CJ Stroud actually scares me quite a bit for I don't think he'll cause them to miss the playoffs, but I think he could be a demerit to the team to the point where they end up being a wild card team.
Yeah, I agree with it. I'm in no means saying CJ Stroud's going to be anything better than a barely above average quarterback.
I think the Colts, everything went well for them the first 9 weeks last season, and that's the best you're going to get.
And I'll give the Jets props. You guys absolutely shelled them on that trade, and the Colts are now set back for 5 more years because Daniel Jones
contract
is gonna.
All right, even if he does good, it's still not a good contract. But that's best case scenario.
Yeah,
and the worst case scenario is he's injury prone and sucks.
Yeah, we're always saying that when he gets a new contract is even if he plays well, it's not a good contract.
He has an amazing.
His agent.
Can we hire you for our show?
Inducted into the Hall of Fame.
You go get us a good contract somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough of the AFC. Moving on to the NFC, East, and this pains me to say this. I don't think the Giants are going to win the NFC East.
Oh, goodness.
And it's going to be, wait for it, the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the division. And I hate to say it because I love what they did this offseason. They went hard to fix their problems, And Caleb Downs is going to be a great addition to their defense. Their run defense is going to be very good. And now they improve their pass defense, including an offense that can score on anyone as long as Lamb and Dak stay healthy. This team's going to be a problem for the regular season because then we all know what happens when the playoffs happens.
Well, it's funny you say that because that is exactly my thought process and why I chose the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
The offense is going to be unreal. Get yourself George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb in fantasy. I think that's obvious and enough. There's so many options. Dak is going to have his great regular season, and we're not going to talk about the playoffs. However that will happen. They'll lose somehow, like you said.
They always find a way.
I think that they definitely are going to dominate that division and probably get, 13 wins or something.
Listen, if their pass defense plays well, they could go 14-plus wins because that's the only thing that's stopping them is that they couldn't stop the pass.
And Javonte, don't forget about him.
Yep.
He's still a scary guy.
Nick's a little quiet over there. What are we thinking? Don't tell me you like Philly.
I do.
Oh, my dear God.
So Here comes the Jalen Hurts rant. Not
it
you.
really has nothing to do with Jalen Hurts. Well, I guess it kind of has something to do with Jalen Hurts, but I feel like even with him being kind of mediocre, unless he the bag completely, I feel like that team's built to win like close games when it comes down to it, and especially in divisional games, I feel like I would trust them to win more than the Cowboys. I could be wrong. I think their defense is built. Did they give Jalen Carter a big contract?
Yeah,
I think he's sick.
I think that they have one of the better front offices.
Easily
football,
in sports,
yeah.
So, Howie's one of the best GMs in all of sports.
Yeah,
easily.
I think losing AJ Brown's actually going to hurt them more than they seem to think.
Yes. I don't think so.
Well, because here's the thing, Jalen Hurts can't throw over the middle, and you got two receivers who specialize in getting open over the middle.
Jalen Hurts was definitely not the reason I picked them. I'll put it that way. But I do think, like, if it comes down to close games, I feel like they're the annoying team that ekes it out.
Yeah, and if they're going to have to lean on Saquon heavily, and Saquon's going to have to return to his 2024 form if they're going to want to win this division.
Did you like their draft?
I liked Clement. I
That's what I was going to say. Yes. I think that'll help. I definitely think the Cowboys had the best offseason of the NFC East, maybe them and the Giants.
Yes.
But I feel like the Giants are in like a ground where like they just want to at least see improvement.
Yes. And I can see the Giants getting 8 to 10 wins. And if they get 8 wins and don't make the playoffs, I'll be happy because at least now they know what winning at least more, if not more than just the same amount of losses, feels like. Just get the confidence. That's all you need.
I was going to say, the Giants, literally, it's going to sound cliche, but they need to not feel like losers is the goal of the season. Because every year they look like a bunch of losers.
Because if you think about it, Washington's going to be better. Jaden Daniels is going to play the whole year. Yeah. And you still got Philly and Dallas, who are both Super Bowl contenders. If you get 8 wins in this division, that is a huge, huge accomplishment.
Yeah, there used to be the jokes of the NFC least, but I mean...
But now, NFC East is top 3 division in football. Yeah. Now we move on to my favorite division in the NFL, I think is going to be electric, the NFC North. So we'll start them off with Timmy over here on the NFC North.
We are taking the Chicago Bears.
Oh, my God. I'm already against that one. But let me hear your reasoning.
I'll give you the reasoning. So I think Caleb, year 3, he's coming in. This is his team. He knows he has to be the guy. He knows he is the guy, and he's going to show everyone why he's the guy. He is going to step in, be amazing, fight for MVP, give them, I don't know, maybe 12 to 14-ish wins. I think that they're the most promising team in that division. I love you, Packers. I do. Sorry, Jordan Love, but your time is sort of passing by.
Podcast P.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's why I have the Bears. I think they have weapons all over the field. I think their defense is solid, and they can just definitely win games. And I don't know exactly what that would mean for the playoffs because we haven't seen enough of playoff Caleb, whatever yet.
Caleb is way too erratic for me to pick them. I don't think they're going to win as many close games as they did last year. And I expect the Detroit Lions to be back on top and back where they were 2 years ago because the defense is going to be better. You have arguably the best running back in football. You have the best O-line in football, probably. And I think last year they went through a little bit of growing pains without Ben Johnson. And now this year they're going to put it back together because their window is starting to close. It's getting there because Jared Goff isn't getting younger. I think Detroit's got to take advantage of their situation. That famous quote he said, "This might have been our only shot. Make another shot. That's all you got to do." And that's why I think. And when I look at the Vikings, everyone's saying, "Oh, maybe Kyler will do this and that." I don't think Kyler Murray's going to do shit with the Vikings.
No, they're just like a bottled explosion right now.
Yeah,
that franchise.
And the Packers, I just don't think their weapons are good.
But they also just don't really know how to win in the playoffs either in recent history. So I don't know if that's just a franchise thing or whatever. But
who do you like to win the NFC North?
The Packers.
There it is. This is the only division. This is the only division with 3 different teams selected.
So I do like the Lions to bounce back, but I feel like the Packers have kind of been like a steady, consistent team in the regular season. I don't think they're going to win a Super Bowl or anything. I don't think they're really capable of doing that under LaFleur. And Josh Jacobs, I feel like you can manage the offense. You have some young receivers, but like you said, they're probably not going to use them for whatever reason. But I do think the defense and Jordan Love will keep them in it. As long as Jordan Love doesn't, play like a bonehead the whole season.
We'll also see how Tucker Kraft comes back.
But
that's another thing,
one of my biggest things is I actually think the Bears are going to regress.
I couldn't agree with that more.
I'm scared that Caleb Williams is going to not have as good of a year and not show as many flashes of greatness. And, I mean, they need him to. I think he's the cog that's going to make them
It scares me how inaccurate he is over the middle and when it comes to in general.
Yeah, he has a cannon. It just doesn't go to anyone.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens this year. NFC South, probably one of the worst divisions in football. But listen, every year, NFL history, look through it, top to bottom. There's always at least 4 different playoff teams in every single season. And this year, one of the new playoff teams will be the New Orleans Saints, who will win the NFC South thanks to a very underrated offense, very underrated defense. And I think Tyler Shaw will break out with his brand new future superstar wide receiver, Jordan Tyson. I know Timmy's freaking out over there. And I know Nick's freaking out behind the camera over there. I don't care. I love what the Saints did this offseason. And I've seen Jordan Tyson, and I think he's going to be a stud.
Yeah, okay. So I'm not even going to dignify the nonsense I just heard you spew out with a response towards that, other than my response is that Carolina is going to win the division because they are the most well put together team in there. They have the experience. Bryce Young is going into his 3rd year, and he's going to be steady, solid, not have the inconsistencies as much anymore. So I think Carolina. I think you are friggin' nuts.
I don't think I'm nuts. I think you're glazing a team that wasn't really that great last year, who won a lot of close games, who I think will not probably come near the playoffs this year.
You don't think that they're going to mature in the slightest. They're a very young team still.
I was between the Panthers and the Bucks. And the Bucks, I don't think, have a great team, but I'm thinking what team can go like 9 or 8 wins and win the division. And I feel like Baker maybe has some games where he gets them over the edge and plays hero ball.
This is Baker's last chance. As the guy Mr. Aziz would say, this is your last chance.
Baker's also burning bridges with that franchise because he is. He's whining about not getting the contract, and people are like, they were gonna give you like a big amount of money, as far as like it was something like $50 million. They're gonna
and he's
not like does anyone in this room think he's elite?
No.
He's not elite. He
Absolutely
just is a
not.
guy who could come in and be a solid starting quarterback anywhere he goes.
Fans defend this guy to the end of the earth. Like, it's always the team he's on fault. It's never Baker.
Yeah, it's all 5 franchises.
Listen, you can wait 17 weeks from week 1. I'll be laughing all the way to the bank when the Saints win the NFC South and host a playoff game.
I do not think there's going to be a 10-win team in that division.
No.
I
think they'll win with 8 wins.
I think that Carolina gets 10 wins and they win.
And
that's crazy. 10 wins?
10 wins, dude. I don't know why everyone thinks
the Falcons, right?
No, the Falcons.
The Falcons cannot be.
Tua turned the ball over.
How do they have 2 quarterbacks both injured? I don't understand.
They also paid Bijan, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
However,
when they get to the goal line, they'll switch right.
They'll switch to someone else because Algiers not there anymore.
Yeah,
Cardinals.
Him and Jeremiah Love.
Yeah. And speaking of Jeremiah Love, the NFC West, I don't have the Cardinals. I'm kidding. But obviously, I mean, listen, they have the Super Bowl champions, but the Rams lost in the NFC title game in a very close game. They decided to go out and say, you know what, we're going to go all in. Let's go get Myles Garrett. Let's go get Trent McDuffie. Let's try to get Aaron Donald back because he worked out with them today. And my goodness.
I think like you said, it's Baker's last chance. I think it's Stafford's last chance. There.
It's Stafford's last chance. He might have 1 to 2 years left because I've seen the tapes of Ty Simpson at training camp, and my goodness, your window's closed and shut in 2 years, Rams fans.
Even if Ty Simpson ends up being a good pick, you're going from a Hall of Famer to a good pick.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be a transitional period no matter what.
And I like that they went out and got Myles Garrett. I know George wishes they got offensive help in the draft, right?
No, I said they should have got even another defensive player.
Oh, really? Okay.
They could have. They could have got.
You didn't like Simpson though.
No, I do not like him at all. I don't think he was even a first round talent.
Yeah. No, so like
he was sitting behind Milroe for years.
So I appreciate that they actually went out and they're acting like it's Stafford's last chance, but I feel like by that same logic, you probably should have picked someone that would help them more now in the draft.
Yeah, and I got a huge hot take. I think the Niners are going to be pretty bad this year. This team is just cursed, man. I don't know what it is.
It's the electrical power station, George.
But you know what it is? Yeah, definitely. You know what it is I noticed over the years? Now, everyone glazes all their late round picks and all that stuff. They got all these great players. Outside of maybe like Nick Bosa, they have been horrific in the first round. If you go top to bottom in all their years, they've made a lot of bad picks in the first round. Trey Lance, what was that guy? The D tackle's name that was horrible. They took him in 2017. It wasn't DeForest Buckner. It was a different guy. He was pretty bad. And this front office has gotten really lucky. They found talent in the like Brock Purdy was pure luck. They got him with the last pick. The guy they chose was horrible. Trey Lance was horrible. And they get lucked into a Brock Purdy pick.
All right, easy, because I don't think Trey Lance ever got a real legitimate shot. So
I don't know. They saw
horrible, all that. His leg broke on how many games in when he was his first year starting?
Okay, but if he was taking top 3. If he was as good as they thought he was, he would have gotten his job back.
That wasn't the plan, though. Like,
yeah, but think about it like this: Brock Purdy took him to the NFC title game and then tore his UCL.
Anybody could have stepped in and brought them to the NFC title game.
He tore his UCL, and then they still went with. So Brock
what's
Purdy.
A UCL?
In your arm, your throwing arm.
I thought you.
If Trey Lance was worth anything, why was he not starting the next year? They went with Purdy because they saw how much better Purdy was.
Is Solomon Thomas?
Yes,
you're talking about.
Yes, that guy stunk.
Pearsall's a first round pick too.
Yeah, that's another one. Another miss. So the Niners had a nice string of luck of late round picks, turned into a super team, I guess you can call it. They had a super team for years and didn't win any titles with it. Lost a couple Super Bowls, lost in the NFC Championship a bunch of times, and they wasted a lot of talent. So I think the Niners window is completely shut with Kyle Shanahan, unfortunately.
I agree with that, and I agree that I think the Los Angeles Rams will win the division because there's just too much talent and too much to go off of, and Myles Garrett, scary man. He's gonna make it. I don't even know words to use for
what he's
the chaos he's going to reap across the league. And yes, they're making it clear also like this. We're going for you, Stafford. This is your last chance and everything like that.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think Seattle's still going to be great.
I think so too.
And listen, to all the people thinking they're going to regress just because they lost their offensive coordinator, they retained 90% of their players, which is by far the most in history by any Super Bowl winner. So they're going to be fine. And they replaced Kenneth Walker with a pretty good running back from Notre Dame. So they'll be fine. They got JSN who can't be guarded. Sam Darnold is elite. We all know that. And the defense is elite. Like, how are they? This team's not going to be bad. Just stop with that foolish nonsense. Nick, who's winning the NFC West?
I have the Rams.
Yeah, there it is.
All right, so
I was like, even if they didn't win it last year, I feel like they made moves to push them over the edge this year.
And to end on this Myles Garrett trade reminds me a lot of when the Packers went out and got Reggie White, because while Reggie White was on the Eagles, who were very meh for most of his time there, except for a couple times, dominated. Then he came to the Packers and he really dominated. So Browns fans, you ain't seen nothing yet. Myles Garrett is going to freaking absolutely run through the league this year, and the Rams are going to be a scary team.
One last thing. Do you guys have any sleeper teams for each playoff, each conference?
Sleeper teams to make the playoffs. I guess you could say Giants. I guess you can call them a sleeper team because they were horrific last year. So I'll say Giants for the NFC. AFC, you know what? Give me the Titans.
Ooh.
Give me a breakout for Cam Ward with an offensive-minded coach, drafted a receiver. Give me Cam Ward breaking out and the Titans sneaking in with maybe 10 wins.
I was thinking about Tennessee, but then I was also thinking that, I don't know, if Daniel Jones can be healthy at parts of the season, then maybe we could see the Colts sneak in the wild card.
Oh my God. I just can't see it. It's just there. He's not. Oh my God. He's had a very unlucky career, but I don't know. I just think he's that good. I'm sorry.
I don't even know if there's a hot take, but I feel like at this point it might be the Bengals making the playoffs. I feel like they haven't actually. Have they made the playoffs a lot?
They haven't made it since, I want to say, 2023 when they lost the AFC title.
The fifth down.
Yeah, the fifth. They haven't made it since the fifth down.
Despite how many championships Joe Burrow's won on Twitter, they haven't had much success. So
I guess you could call that a sleeper team.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying if you actually look at it, them making the playoffs is not a given.
No, not even close.
It definitely isn't.
So I have them for the AFC. The NFC, I guess I could be hopeful and pick the Giants. I actually think Georgia's Saints take is hot enough to be considered a hot take for the NFC.
Yeah, true. Very true.
I'll take it. We're back for year 2 of VSP, and NFL season is just around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. Fantasy content, what if videos, all that fun stuff coming. Timmy, give it to me one more time.
Nick, flip that switch.
Bye, everyone.